Hello students, welcome to a new session. Today we are going to discuss lesson number 9, soil. Children, I hope you all have submitted your answer sheets. And we have so far completed 8 lessons. Now going to start the 9th lesson. Before starting this lesson, before watching the video, you should be ready with your textbook. From the type of the question came in the unit exam, it is clear that you have to read and understand each and every line in the textbook. Okay. Now, for every lesson, before watching video, you have to be ready with your textbook. First, you listen to the video, then read the textbook of the portion explained by the teacher. And also, when you get the worksheet, write down the notes in the worksheet and learn the answers given. So, if you do all these 3 works, don't depend only on the worksheet, don't depend on the video, and not only to depend on the textbook reading also, because you are not that much mature to read and understand everything. All these 3 things you have to do. Then only you can score very good marks. Okay. Now, be ready with your textbook. I am starting the lesson. Soil is one of the most important natural resources. It supplies the growth of plants, supports the growth of plants by holding the roots firmly and supplying water and nutrients. It is a home for many organisms. Soil is essential for agriculture. Agriculture provides food, clothing, and shelter for all. Soil is thus an inseparable part of our life. The earthy fragrance of the soil after the first rain is always refreshing. Soil is one of the most important natural resources. What do you mean by natural resource? The resources, the things which we get from the nature are called natural resources. There are various types of natural resources like soil, land, air, water, sunlight, minerals, proper temperature. These are all various natural resources, and we need all these things for the existence of our life. And soil is more important because our life fully depends on whatever we are getting from the soil. Soil supports the growth of plants by holding the roots firmly and supplying water and nutrients. You know, we grow the plants in the soil, and the plants absorbs water and nutrients from the soil. So the soil support the plants, they help the plant to be fixed firmly so that they will not be uprooted or fall down by wind or the water. And also soil provides the plants with the water and the nutrients which are needed for the growth of the plants. Same time, it is a home for many organisms. Many organisms live in the soil, like earthworm, various types of insects, many types of microorganisms. What to say, even snakes, rats, etc. They make the home in the soil. They live in the holes which they make in the soil. So the soil is a home for many type of organisms. Okay. The soil is essential for agriculture. That I told, we grow the plants in the soil, and we get our food materials, materials for clothing, materials for constructing our building, and everything we are getting from the soil. See, for clothing, as the cloth we use cotton, cotton is growing, getting from the cotton plants which grow in the soil, jute growing in the soil, and we also use silk cloths and woolen cloths. And silk worms are growing on the mulberry plants. They eat the mulberry leaves and they grow. So mulberry plants, they are grown in the soil, right? And we get wool from the sheep or the yak. The sheep and yak eat the plants which are grown on the soil. So for our shelter, shelter means our homes we construct on the soil only, right? For our shelter, clothing, food, and complete our survival depends on the soil. And when it rains for the first time, there is a particular type of smell coming out of the soil. It's very smoothing and refreshing smell. Now, the soil found in different areas are different. The soil which we will be collecting from the garden will not be same at the soil found in the construction site. It will not be the same in the soil of the desert areas. It will not be same in the soil of the coastal areas. That means soil we are getting from the different areas are different. And the type of the crops or type of plants growing in the soil depends on the area from where we get the soil. Now, if we observe the soil, we can see different layers. Different layers we can observe in the soil. We will do an activity to find out what are the different layers of the soil. See, the soil is composed of distinct layers and we will do with an activity. For that, take a handful of soil. There may be some lump. Lump means soil will be collected together that we can break the lump by either rubbing in the hand itself. The soil is smooth, we can break down the lump by rubbing in the hand itself, or if it is little strong, break it with any other hard object so that we can change the soil into powder form. So take a handful of soil and also arrange a glass and some water. Take the glass, fill 3/4 of the glass with the water, then put the soil in the water. So what is to be taken? First you take a glass, fill the glass 3/4 with the water. Then add a handful of soil into this water. Then stir it well, mix it well so that the soil will be completely dissolved in the water. Okay, children? Now, this glass containing soil and water will be kept in one side of the room without touching for some time. That is, allow it to stand for some time without touching it. After some hours, after some time, if you take and observe, we can see different layers are formed in the glass. You have to take the glass, means not the steel glass, the glass made of the glass material only. Okay, as shown in the figure. And you can see different layers. At the bottommost, you can see a layer of gravel. Gravel is heavier. So as it is heavier, the gravel, same as stone and the pebbles, they will settle down at the bottom and they form a separate layer. Now above the layer of gravel, we can see the sand. Sand is lighter than gravel. So the sand will form a separate layer above the gravel. Now above the sand layer, we can see the clay. Clay is lighter than sand. Okay, that means the heaviest particle gravel that will settle down at the bottom. Now above the gravel, there will be the sand. Now above the sand, there is the layer of clay. Now above the clay layer, we can see the clear water. Clean water we can see. And we can also see many floating substances on the surface of the water. These are called a humus. So what are humus? Humus is the dead remains of plants and animals remaining in the soil. And humus is lighter than water. As it is lighter than water, it will be forming a separate layer above the surface of the water. That means they will be floating in the water. So these 5 distinct layers we can see in the glass. Which are the bottommost? We can see the layer of gravel. Above the gravel, sand layer. Above the sand layer, the layer of clay. Above the clay layer, water. And being the lightest particle, humus will be forming the topmost layer. So which is the heaviest particle? Gravel. So they will be settling at the bottom. And which is the lightest particle? Very lighter. They are the humus. Humus is lighter than water. Okay, so they will be floating on the surface of the water. The remaining layers like gravel, sand and clay, they are heavier, so they will be settling down one above the other according to their heaviness. And humus is the particle which is lighter than water, so it will be remaining floating on the surface of the water. Okay. Now, see, the rotting dead matter in the soil is called a humus. Rotting dead material means it will be the dead remains of plants and animals. As they are lighter, they will be remaining floating on the water. So the dead remains of plants and animals remaining in the soil is called humus. And humus add nutrients to the soil. Humans provide nutrients to the soil. Okay, children? What is humus? Humus is the dead remains of plants and animals present in the soil. So from this we can understand that soil is formed of gravel, sand, clay, and also humus. Okay. Now, have you ever thought how the soil is formed? How it is made? Soil is formed by the breaking down of rocks by the action of wind, water, and climate. The soil, they are very fine powder-like substance, but the soil is formed of the breaking down of large particles of rocks because of the action of either wind, water, and climate like temperature, rain, etc. These large rocks, they remain in the sunlight, bearing the rain and temperature, and also because of the action of wind and water, they will be breaking down into small particles. And when the rocks break down into small particles, along with the large pieces, some particles will be changing into the powder form. Thus, the soil is formed. So, this process of formation of soil from the large particle is called weathering. So, what is weathering? Weathering is the process of formation of soil by the action of wind, water, and climate. Okay, children. Now we will see a most important part related to soil, that is soil pollution. Nowadays, all the natural resources are getting polluted. Who are responsible? Because of us only. We are responsible. Human beings are responsible for any type of pollution, whether it is air pollution, water pollution, or land pollution, land or soil pollution. The human beings are responsible. And we pollute even the soil from which we are getting our things for our survival. We are polluting this. Polythene bags and plastics pollute the soil. They also kill the organism living in the soil. That is why there is a demand to ban the polythene bags and plastics. Other substances which pollute the soil are number of waste products, chemicals, and pesticides. Waste products and chemicals should be treated before they are released into the soil. The use of pesticides should be minimized. So we also pollute the soil. The main pollutants of the soil are, or the main reason for the soil pollution are the polythene bags and the plastics. And they remain in the soil for very long time. They will not decay and mix with the soil like the biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste means the plant remains, cattle dung, dead remains of animals, etc. They decay, and after some time they will be mixing with the soil and they form the nutrients for the soil. But the things like polythene bags, plastic, etc., they do not decay or they do not degrade and they do not mix with the soil. They remain in the soil for a very long time and they pollute the soil, and also they cause harm to the living organisms in the soil. So the government has made some rules to avoid the soil pollution. We should not throw any plastics or the polythene bags into the soil. Even though government has made the rules for us, we are not following. That means we only human beings are responsible for the soil pollution. And also the substances like metals, glass, etc. will not degrade easily. They also remain in the soil and pollute the soil. And same way, other waste products, chemicals and pesticides, even the chemical fertilizers used by the farmers for getting better crops, they all pollute the soil. So the waste products and chemicals should be treated before they are released into the soil. The waste products and chemicals released from the factories, they should be treated so that the harmful substance in them can be destroyed before they are releasing into the soil. Similarly, the use of pesticides should be controlled. instead of using the chemical pesticides, farmers should go for using the biopesticides. What are pesticides? Pesticides are the chemicals used to kill the pest, and pest do harm to the crops. So farmers use pesticides for killing the pest. But the pesticides, chemical pesticides, they contain many chemicals and they cause harm to the soil. So instead of using the chemical pesticides, it is advisable to use the biopesticides which will not cause any soil pollution. So we have to control the soil pollution. We should come forward as the students, as the citizen of the coming generation. Children, you should be more careful about this type of pollution. You should take the measures. We should take measures to control the pollution. We should not throw any plastic bags or any polythene bags to the soil. And also, how much we can possible, that much we will try to avoid the pollution, whether it is soil pollution or air pollution or water pollution. Okay, children, the coming part I will be explaining in the next video.